even though like I was living like I had moved out with you, I was rooming with Cortez, so you would think that you're like you're seeking some type of independence, but I didn't even know how to.
Say how's the fam?
Overflow.
Welcome to How's the Fam, okay? How's the Fam is your podcast about family, friends, and growth. And today I'm joined by a line brother, a good friend of mine, a college classmate, and overall, just an extremely dope dude, man. Yeah, welcome Perriman right to the show. Perriman,
What's
welcome,
up,
bro.
brother? What's up,
Bro, I'm
man? How
glad.
you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm glad you spent some time out your busy day to slum it out with us regular folks, bro.
Oh man, I'm regular too. I wouldn't have missed it, man. I wouldn't have missed
Well, I'm
it.
glad you're here, bro. Perriman, just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Just tell us the quick and dirty.
Man, I'm a small town boy, kid, whatever you want to call it. But I'm from Madison, Mississippi. 28 years old in the beginnings of my career. I work in recruiting, early talent recruiter for the top cybersecurity company. So, just been trying to get it out here grinding, making meaningful connections with people, building meaningful relationships, staying disciplined, staying grounded, within just my upbringing and like, teachings and grounded in my faith. So that's just, a little bit about me.
That's incredible, bro. I'm going to preface this episode by saying Perriman's words, Perriman's stories are not a reflection of his employer, and that they are a reflection of my LLC, okay? Now, everybody knows, this episode is going to be about just being authentic, like being your true, authentic self. It's also going to be about finding self reliance. And if we have time, we're going to dive into the single life, okay? So if that sounds good to you, stick around and enjoy How's the Fam. But as the fam knows, we like to start every episode out with a segment called Just Checking In. And Perriman, Just Checking In is exactly what it sounds like. It's us just telling stories about what the pressing matters of our day are. All right, I'm going to start it out and then I'm going to hand you the ball. Cool?
Cool.
All right, so my Just Checking In story is I wasn't expecting it to be cold this morning. All right, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, this whole week has been up and down. It's been down more than it's been up. But like yesterday specifically, like I went to sleep and it was around like 70-ish degrees or something like that. And then I woke up in
Hmm.
the morning and it was a cold 34. And I'm just sitting there like, how did we get here? And I don't know. I don't know if it's me getting older. I don't know if it's me not taking care of myself the way that I need to be taking care of myself. But one of the things I noticed was like I started developing like I don't know this congestion, right? And so
Hmm.
I really need to start taking a little bit better care of myself as winter in Texas starts transitioning and going through its different phases. But that is my just checking in story. Perriman, we just checking in, bro. What's your story?
Man, I didn't even know it was cold outside. To be
You
honest,
ain't been
I was
outside?
no, I was out last night, and it was warm, but I haven't been outside yet. I wanted to get this interview done first, and then I was gonna go and work out and run some errands, this and that. But I didn't even know. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
checking in. It's been it was a smooth week. I was actually off work yesterday, so
Oh, no
we
kidding.
yeah, for Human Rights Day. So
Ah.
yeah, just I don't know, man. I've it's been good, rooting for JSU.
Oh, yeah, the
JSU
celebration
football, yeah.
bowl.
We won SWAC, so very excited about that.
Ah,
But I love the holidays, just spending time with family, with friends, eating good, watching the good movies. I just put up some Christmas decorations.
did you?
It's something small. I got two small trees and like some garland and a wreath on my door. So
So
I actually got that at Lowe's.
I've been
It
asking
was
all
on
the
sale.
single I've been asking all the single people who have their own spot like is it pre-lit? Did you go pre-lit or did you go like I'm gonna put my own lights on this tree?
Oh no, pre-lit. Pre-lit.
Pre-lit
I'll let
people are still
go
winning.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We still winning. Yeah, when I get a special woman in my life, I'll let her do all the decorating, but that's not what I do.
I
So
don't know if you've been
I
watching
like
my
to buy it.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I was about to say I like it easy, man. It was pre-lit, I could just put it up, and
And
that's
it
it.
looks great. I was gonna say I put the tree up this year, and Keisha completely took the tree down and re-put it up. So you're right. You need to
Yeah,
you gotta let the women
let
handle
them
this.
handle that. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and
That's good.
that's been just checking in. Okay. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, again, authenticity and becoming self-reliant. Um, we have a sponsor for the episode, okay? And that sponsor is Pray, Plan, Execute, all right? Pray, Plan, Execute is an athleisure, faith-based brand, okay? And it's built on the idea that you need to wear your faith. Now, Perriman, this brand is for people like me and you, people who understand that to accomplish your purpose, you cannot do it without God, okay? You cannot do it without a solid plan, and then you cannot do it without actually putting your boots on, strapping up, and going out there and actually getting the work done, okay? Now, if you are like me and Perriman, if you are trying to walk in your purpose and find fulfillment through that, then I have a code for you, okay? If you want that gentle reminder about this pray, plan, execute mantra, I have a code, and you can go to prayplanexecute.shop. Again, that is prayplanexecute.shop, and you can use code FAM. That is FAM FAM at checkout. Okay, now keep in mind, I've been doing this for a little while, and his inventory is running low. Okay, a lot of the sizes, a lot of the larges and mediums, which is what I wear, a lot of them suckers about gone. Okay, and it's because you guys ain't hopped on it. All right, you gotta hop on it and like, don't be mad at me. Okay, I mean, y'all been sending me DMs and stuff. Don't be mad at me when the inventory get low. All right, we've been doing this for a little while. Y'all need to hurry up. If you find something you like on there, use code FAM. That is FAM at checkout. All right, you guys, pray, plan, execute. It is more than a brand; it's a lifestyle. All right, now, Perriman, meat and potatoes, bro. You
Yes, sir.
are one of the most authentic people I know. Again, like even in college, when people would try to like hop in your case, you just be like, "Yeah, that's me. I did it," you know.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so, for you, what does learning and accepting yourself look like? What does it look like throughout all these different times?
Oftentimes, I like to self-reflect, whether it's at night before I go to bed, uh, or in the morning when I wake up, just when I'm working out. Like I don't know, it's just whenever I feel as though I'm at peace. And oftentimes I think about like my simple pleasures. I think about what I'm good at. I think about what I'm not so good at. I think about what brings me joy, what brings me happiness, and like pretty much what pisses me off, makes me
Yeah,
sad. And then I find out what are the things that I'm naturally just good at. All right, let me expand. Let me expound on those things. Let me take those things like and develop those skills. Because that's the easiest thing to do. What I'm not so good at, I will try to find out, is it something that I can do to make me better at this, than what I am. If it's a no, then all right, cool. To just accept it. All right, that's just
yeah,
who I am. That's just what I am. So I think it's just pretty much self-reflecting, and finding out what it is, like who you are, and what you like, the type of people. Also, it's important, like what type of like crowd do you like to be around?
mm,
Do you like the people who are just all about status and want to, flaunt what they have, or do you like people who are real? People who is gonna, give you the real, tell you what's really going on. Um, and I found out that those are the people that I relate to. So also, it's also about being around people and finding out like the type of crowd that you like to be around, the type of people that you kind of relate to most, and accepting that, just accepting your flaws, accepting your strengths, accepting your weaknesses, accepting like the people that you attract and the people that you connect with. So I think that's the main thing.
that's awesome, man. So yeah, you talked about accepting. You talked about finding your tribe. You talked about like identifying strengths, identifying weaknesses. What part of this layout that you've just given the people, what is the most difficult part about that process of discovery?
The most difficult part is probably accepting what you aren't, like just like what you are not, pretty much, and like what you
Mm,
aren't good at. I think that's the most difficult part, because we live, in this age where um, everything is a comparison. Like with the social media
yeah,
era, everything is a comparison, and people only they only document their
The
their
highlights.
strengths. They only document the highlights. They don't
Yeah.
document like the whole process. They don't document the struggle.
Hmm.
And so we always want to be like really good at everything, because everybody, like all the influencers, all the celebrities we see, it seems that they're good at everything. Like LeBron, for example, it seems like the dude can do no wrong, like it's made in the lab. You know what
He
I'm
ain't
saying?
lying.
It's like, man, I want to be like LeBron. That dude, like literally, but it's just like, LeBron. At the end of the day, LeBron got some weaknesses too. Like he
Hmm.
has some things that he's like insecure about as well. So it's just accepting like what you are and what you are not. I think that's the hardest part. And don't be like distracted by like what you see on social media. I think that's the biggest struggle that we have like in this generation.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
just being distracted and just comparing what we have versus what other people have, or what they're good at, what we're not good at. And just our picture may not have gotten as many likes because we didn't have this type of angle, or we wasn't wearing this type of outfit, or our body doesn't look that type of way.
Yeah,
We shouldn't be doing that. We should be focusing on our strengths, focusing on our own race, and playing to that. So
I like that,
I think
man. So, what has helped you low key like narrow down and focus on your journey of authenticity? Like, how did what tips do you have for people who are trying to find that focus?
yeah. So I mean, number one was finding a good church, to be
Yeah.
honest, and that really helped to strengthen like my faith. That really helped to strengthen like my like self love, like
Hmm.
who I am, and embracing that. So I think
Yeah.
that's number one. And then finding like a group of people also that will uplift you, like no matter what, like having a strong foundation, and having people like that's in your corner and like accepts you and loves you for like who you are. I think that's important as well, but also just a lot of self like development, meditation, working out, eating healthy, making a vision board, and having attainable goals for yourself on whatever it is that you want to work on. Just knowing that you are dope
Yeah.
AF.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you're a dope individual and you are blessed, and I mean, you just gotta love like yourself. You gotta love who you are. I mean, it's only one of us. Like it's only one Perryman
Mhm.
Junior in this world. I'm named after my daddy, so I had to say Junior. But there's
Yeah.
only one Perryman in this world, and I love myself. Like I'm gonna make the most of this life that God gave me. Like I'm here for like on purpose. If
Yeah.
He didn't want me here, I wouldn't be here. You got to realize that we're here for a reason. We're here on purpose. So
Yeah.
when you accept that, then I mean, the world is yours.
Bro, that's beautiful, man. And you know what's funny? I oftentimes tell people like about you. Like I teach the youth and
Uh-huh.
things of that nature. And like some of
Yeah,
them, they ain't too polished, you know? They ain't very
yeah,
polished in
yeah.
terms of like delivery, in terms of like just the way that they act and stuff like that. And every once in a while, some of the ones who are like more cerebral or like understanding the situation, they'll come to me and they'll just be like, man, Mr. Brown, like I'm just not like the rest of the people, or like all these
Uh-huh.
different things. And oftentimes I will tell them your story, that just because you are a certain way now doesn't mean that you
Yeah,
can't be something else later on. Like, yes, the core
yeah.
of you is the core of you, but you can
Uh-huh.
do self work, and that doing by doing that self work over time, you will see like incredible results. And you are the example I give to that, because like in college, like while you were focused, and I
Yeah,
mean, not to air out anything crazy, but like while you were focused and while you were like more or less like faith driven and things of that nature, it's nowhere close to what it looks like today. And
yeah.
yeah, and
That's
it's
that's facts. To be honest, like
yeah,
I feel as though in college, like I was just so like easily influenced by everything, and I was so easily distracted as well, and I wasn't as focused as I should have been. To be honest, it's like almost like I didn't take life serious.
yeah,
I was just existing. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't living like with a purpose. I wasn't trying to reach. Of course, we all want to graduate and be successful, but like I was just living, man. It wasn't, just young. But yeah, like you said, it definitely takes a lot of like self work and development. Like if you don't work and try to develop yourself, or develop any skill set, or develop anything, like you're not gonna grow. Like
Yeah,
you got to work to grow. So
I agree, man. I agree. And like I said, you have like from 24 to you at 28, the amount of growth you've made in 4 years is nothing short of remarkable. And part of that journey that I was able to see was you moving to a new state, moving to a state where you really didn't know that many people. What did the road to your self reliance look like? Because you're a single guy, you got your own place. Like more or less, like the perception of you is very polished. Okay, so what does your
mhm.
road to self reliance look like?
Well, it's definitely I wasn't self reliant before I moved to a different state on my own. I was very much so dependent. I was a dependent for sure on parents and other people.
Mm-hmm.
Funny story. So um, I lived with you for three months,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate you for that. Regardless, I know you charged me, and I wasn't making much money, because I was just doing an internship for those 3 months. But like, I didn't have any other options, so But it was a good 3 months, and I already know when the 3 months ended, I didn't do anything. I don't think I did anything too major to make y'all want to be like, uh,
No,
we
you
can't
were
fool with
an
Perry no more.
incredible roommate. Like
Yeah,
you paid, you did your thing. Like and
yeah.
like yeah, you ate food, but everybody ate food. So like
Yeah.
it was a
Everybody ate
great
food,
experience.
bro. I
Yeah.
couldn't cook. I remember one time y'all didn't have any food, and I like didn't know how to cook. All I knew to do was just like buy stuff that you could just put in the
Oh
microwave or
yeah,
the oven. Well,
you
I
gotta
ended up
cook.
buying some breakfast. I ended up buying some breakfast food because that was the only thing I knew how to make. I bought some some bacon, some eggs. Know how to make bacon and eggs and some pancakes, and I ate that for dinner for like 2 days because y'all ain't
Yep.
had no food. Usually,
Yep.
you or Keisha will make tacos or seafood like fish or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
but y'all stopped cooking for a while, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
What
hungry. I
happened
need to
was
eat.
I became a youth leader when you showed up, like in 20,
Okay,
like well,
that was
that wasn't
2015.
24, it was 2015.
Yeah,
That's when I
2015.
became a
Yeah,
full time youth leader and like transitioning into I have to be at church on Wednesday, I got to be at church on Sunday, I got to prepare for the lesson. And
yeah,
I wasn't as organized as I thought I was. So yeah, you're
yeah,
100% right. We weren't cooking and things that nature. And honestly, like if we gonna keep it a book, like even to this day, like my refrigerator doesn't stay stocked the way I want it to be. My freezer
yeah.
has stuff, but my refrigerator doesn't have what I want. But
I
yeah, go
feel you.
ahead.
Same here. But yeah, man. So then after I moved out with you, I had end up getting a roommate, who was our other line brother, Cortez. And I stayed with Cortez for I think we roomed together for about 2 years. And do you know when me and Cortez were rooming together, like I would only give him money for like the rent, I would give him money for utilities. I wasn't actually going in and paying it myself. So I didn't know how to go in and pay bills.
Yeah.
So even though like I was living like I had moved out with you, I was rooming with Cortez. So you would think that you're seeking some type of independence, but I didn't even know how to pay bills. It wasn't until I moved in on my own, like got my own place where I had to pay my own bills, provide for myself. Like that's
you
when I really got self reliant, and it really just took off from there. I learned just how to save money. Like I end up like spending a lot of unnecessary money, man, living that life, being out all the time on weekends, chasing girls, this and that.
yeah.
So I had to go through some struggles of like, just spending unnecessary money, like learning how to save, paying bills on time, like taking my career seriously just because like now I'm on my own. I have nobody else to depend on. So um, I end up finding, like I said, a good church. I end up, learning how to tithe like correctly. I didn't do it consistently though, because I learned how to do like when I realized what
Yeah.
tithing was, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
rent still do. But that's when you learn, like that's when your faith is tested the most,
It
and that's when
really
you learn,
is.
to trust God. And I end up finding out, what my simple pleasures like. What do I enjoy? And I just, really, um, I really just, I guess, did what made me happy, and tried to develop my strengths and like work on like myself and accept it like my flaws and accept it like the mistakes I made, and it was nothing I could do about it but just to learn from it. So with self development, you really gotta accept like the punches that come with like just the journey of life. To be honest, because you're gonna mess up. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she uses the quote, and that I actually she gets it from her mother, which is I call her Big Mama. But bought sense is better than told sense. So like people
Mm.
can tell you this, and that. Perry, don't go buy a dog because that was a mistake I made. Don't go buy a dog. Don't go chasing women. Like, won't you like do this to make yourself happy instead of doing this to try to go out and get girls or whatever the case may be?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't listen. People can tell you that all day, but when I started, doing a lot of stuff for the wrong reason and started spending too much money and money starts, dwindling, like, those are mistakes I made and I learned from that. So that was sense that I had to buy, I had to pay for that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it made me stronger, in the long run, just because I learned like, it's not worth it. You need to be saving, you need to be learning to invest. You need to be focused on like, developing in your career. You want to continue to grow. You don't want to just be stuck doing the same thing forever. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, it's just like taking the punches, man, learning from your mistakes, accepting your flaws, building on your strengths, and just, making the most out of each day. Like take it one day at a time. Like, how can I get
Yeah.
better today? How can I be better today than I was yesterday? You
Yeah.
know, just like,
That's
that's
the
I think
foundation.
that's the foundation of like being, self-reliant for sure.
I agree with that, man. That's definitely the foundation. If you can become 1% better every single day, that means you have
Mhm.
the self awareness of where you need to improve, or you've already identified like this is what I'm good at, and this is how I get
Mhm.
even better at what I'm already good at. And by doing those two things on a consistent basis, you just reach a level that people are like, "Man, this dude's so lucky." But it's not luck.
Dude,
It's
you said
literally,
the yeah, you said the most important word, consistency. It's so hard to be consistent at anything. But I mean, if you just like you said, like if you just do the little things, stay consistent at the little things every day, like what you're gonna the person that you're gonna grow into is just gonna be incredible. Like,
bro.
so
And when
it's all
you
about
start feeling the compound of those results, man, oh,
hmm
it really is a beautiful place to be in. So now you talked about your journey of self-reliance. You talked about like essentially becoming self-aware, identifying your strengths and your weaknesses. Now, what were two obstacles that held you up on this road? Like, what were two things that kind of like try to hold you back from embracing this?
like I used to do. I really used to think if you are good looking, if you have the if you're good looking, like stuff in life will just be handed to you. And I realized very quickly that that don't mean nothing. Like that don't mean shit. To be honest, that don't mean shit. Like as I got older, I just realized that didn't mean anything. Like it's like sometimes being good looking will get you a call back, or
Yeah.
maybe it'll get you an interview, but you still have to sell yourself to people. So
Mm-hmm.
I think just not being so full of myself, to be honest, and being humbled by just life and some of the situations that happen in life, that really helped me a lot. Because that was definitely like being full of myself was definitely like it was getting in the way of like me prospering and progressing. So another obstacle was just trying to be liked by everybody, trying to be like everybody's friends. Like,
Ooh.
I really came to I really realized that not everybody's gonna like you. Like,
Yeah.
the saying, like, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. And that's true. Just because when you decide not to follow the crowd and follow who you are, follow the cross, follow who you are, like as a
Yeah.
person, follow who God has called you to be. People are not gonna like that because people want you to conform. They want you to fit in. Like, you gotta think
Yeah.
about it. They want you to be like people are comfortable being around people that's similar to them
Mm-hmm.
and like what they like and going to do what they say they're going to do. I see so many people that's like they just follow the crowd. They follow the leader. Like it's like they're just in a I don't know, man. It's like they're just so clicked up all the
It's
time.
almost like they in the Matrix.
Yeah,
They're
it's like they're
literally
in the
like plugged
matrix.
in
Man, they
and
just
being
plugged in.
fed.
They just follow.
Yeah.
It's like Joe Blow's gonna follow what John Doe do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I ain't never been. Well, I'm not gonna say never been, but like since I found like who I am and accepted who I am,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna follow the crowd. I realize that I'm just different. Like the way I like to move is different. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not finna like anytime like I feel as though you're trying to get me to conform to something. That's just not me. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
very much so like an individual. Like I'm just myself. And if it's something I don't like doing it, or if I get like, if I don't feel comfortable in a situation, I'm just not gonna do it. And I've definitely like lost people along the way, but there were people that didn't need to be in my life anyway. So I think those are
Boom.
two obstacles. Yeah, I think those are
Dude,
two obstacles I faced.
that was incredible, by the way. That
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
incredible. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah, that's great. I'm thinking of like I should have. I'm gonna write that down because that was so insightful.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it a lot. Um, don't be surprised when you see that as an Instagram post. By the way, uh,
Now do your thing.
um,
Go ahead and post
yeah, for
it.
sure, bro. That was great. So I will get into your dating life and things of that nature, but let's do that on a different episode, man. Let's leave the people with something to look forward to. So, in
Oh
terms
man.
of
Okay.
what you've already said, in terms of what you've already been through, and do you feel like you've left anything on the table? Is there anything that you need to share with the people? Like that you like, yo, I wanted to say this one thing, but Tyler cut me off.
Uh, left on the table. Nah, man. We could keep the conversation moving forward. I don't think it's anything I left on the table.
Okay, cool. So I like to end every episode of How's the Fam with words of encouragement. Okay, words of encouragement is just that. Pyramid, it is us giving the people, pouring into the people with words of wisdom that we have already gotten. Okay, so I want you to
Yeah,
think of some words of encouragement that you want to share with the people. Cool.
I've already thought about it, man. I'm
All
ready.
right, bet. So, all right, you guys, my words of encouragement are if you've made it this far into the podcast, you are among an elite form of people. Okay, you are my fam if you made it this far into the podcast because many people don't make it this far. That means, number one, thank you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for taking in the time to watch this. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to the podcast via Apple, Spotify, Audible, because we everywhere, make sure you follow the podcast on whichever platform you like the most. Okay, I want you guys to stay up to date on the information that we're giving. Okay, now, also if you're on the YouTube version, please leave a comment about what your favorite part of the podcast, what was said that you thought was the most profound thing. Also, let us know what you would like us to talk about in the future. Okay. Um, if you're on the podcast version, hey man, leave that 5-star review. Okay, leave that 5-star review. We read all reviews, and we appreciate everybody who shows us love. Okay. Now, my true words of encouragement are sometimes you guys just need a rest, okay? I understand we got to go hard. I understand our purpose is calling. And I understand that work has to get done, but the body is the body. It is not a machine, okay? At some point, you have to sit back and you have to let your body recover. I am all about put the work in. Yes, you got to put the work in, but you also got to put the rest in as well so that the body can recover from the work and it can come back and bounce back and do that work all over again. Yeah, rest is incredibly important, and I want you guys to get enough of it so that you can function and so that you guys can fulfill your purpose. Um, so rest up, rest easy. Perriman, what are the words of encouragement for the people, bro?
Just want to piggyback off of what you said, man. You know, I feel as though this today, our society is all about grind, 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 hustle, work, 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 so you can achieve this goal, that goal, get rich, build wealth. All that is cool and fine and dandy, but you do got to take some time to just, like you said, relax and enjoy like the moment. Like just because, like what, tomorrow ain't promised. Just being honest. So if you
At
find
all.
yourself you working, 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 and not enjoying anything, and something happens, what, like what now, like all
What
of
will
the
they
work,
say
is
at
it
your
like,
funeral?
yeah, what would they say at your funeral? So you got to take some time and just enjoy like the people around you, enjoy your family, like enjoy what you've built thus far. Like just because it's like you got to enjoy the process. You can't just always just only look at like the end goal or what the finished product may look like in your head. You got to definitely enjoy the moment, live in the moment. So but my words of encouragement. And I wish somebody would have said this to me, 6, 7, 8 years ago was do not be afraid to fail.
Whew.
Do not be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Failure is inevitable and it's going to happen. We always look at, the finished product, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast. We only look at like people only document, their successes, but they don't document the struggle. Struggle, like failures, it comes with success. Michael Jordan said it best, he didn't learn how to win until he lost. Like he said he learned how to win through, losing through failure. So you gotta don't be afraid to fail because you learn so much from mistakes. You learn so much from failures. That's why the older generation, the old folks, like why you think they so wise? Well, why do you think they are so wise?
Bro.
Just because they made a lot of mistakes. Like that's why. Do you want to talk to somebody who has lived like this perfect life and never struggled, never made a mistake, did everything right, or do you want to talk to somebody that's been through it? Been through the struggle, that's actually messed up a lot, and now through their struggle, they've gained wisdom and they've learned how to just walk in the right direction. Like Steve Harvey, for example. I love Steve Harvey. I listen to Steve Harvey
solid.
almost every day.
Yeah.
But guess what? Steve Harvey, he talks about how badly he messed up in his early 20s and in his 20s and 30s. Steve Harvey didn't get on comedy. What was it? Apollo.
View?
I think he was no, it was Apollo. He didn't start hosting Apollo until I think he was 1993. So he was in his late 30s, early 40s when he started hosting the Apollo. That's when he finally, started to experience some of the fruits of his labor. Like it took him 38 to 40 years like to experience that. So like do not be afraid to fail. Like you're gonna mess up, but it's beauty in failure. It's beauty in mistakes. So
I'm taking
that'll
that
be
to
my
heart, bro. That's
yeah.
beautiful. That was very well said. And you guys heard it here first on How's the Fam, okay? Perriman, thank you for coming by, man. Thank you for blessing us
Show
with your
man.
presence and your words. And y'all, fam's all good. Be blessed.